I was leaning forward because I had to focus because that shit was going everywhere for me, but I was trying to get it. I swear to God, I tried. I caught it a few times, but I felt like we kept jumping the spots. But essentially, I think it just really came down to I don't want to sit with a dude and then lose some of that market value. Hey, what's up?
What's up? How are you?
Yes, I'm doing fantastic.
Um,
Thank you. So, what is your disagreement today, man?
so I have a disagreement or even just a comment, but before then, I'm curious, what exactly is a high value man? Because obviously it includes athletes, actors, media people, but how else are they defined?
Yeah, certain level of status, certain level of income, certain level of power and influence. I think that would probably justify it. Once you see a reach a certain threshold, then there you go.
Okay, so I think I know a couple of quote unquote high value men in
Okay.
person. And I've heard over and over again, either through interviews you guys have done or through the videos and reactions you guys have done, where you say, okay, high value men, they can go to McDonald's, they don't really give a shit about your career, they just don't care. Like, obviously, men and women value different things, but at the same time, my in-person experience is such that those men don't really go for women who have no good solid experience that they could also relate to. So what do you think about that? As in, if I can elaborate a bit more, I don't really know any, or if I do, very, very, very few women who grew up, let's say, being raised very traditionally, where they know they just want to be a housewife. They don't really want to get into student loans or anything like that. And then they end up getting married in their like early 20s or so. But more often than not, these are also the type of women that seem to not really have as much character.
Okay. Okay. So just bring it back. So what's your question? Just to
What do
focus it.
high value men really care about? Is it as simple as just,
You
being a
you
good
trying to
partner?
marry a high value man?
Well, no, I'm already in a good relationship. It's not really about that. It's just as a young woman, I'm being torn in multiple directions. There's the camp that says, hey, go get a girl, like hashtag girl boss or whatever like that, right? And
No,
and
but
then
hold up. Is your man a high value man by society's definition?
no, but we do know a lot of people who are, and that's not to put him down or anything. I love him to
Oh,
death.
okay. So
He's very
you're just curious about like, you're just curious about like how it works for other people, like rich people's relations, kind of thing.
well, not even just rich, like six-figure people. I definitely know people like that who are in our friend group, right? And they're settling down with women who are great partners who aren't just about career, but they certainly have a lot of real world experience. And I think you guys don't really emphasize that enough, or at least I'm not really sure what you mean when you say high value men
Well,
don't give a
I mean, at the end of the day, the reality is that women who make a lot of money generally struggle to find men who make as much as them or above, right? Like statistically speaking. So guys just they have a lot more financial flexibility in what they're going to look for in their partners. Right? You talk about life experiences and things that are unquantifiable and intangible. Talk about the girl volunteers at an animal shelter and she's a great human being with a PhD and something useless. Like, maybe she got a lot of experience. I don't know. Fuck. You can't quantify those things, so I can't tell you what the statistics are like. What I am trying to say is that in terms of status and financial situation, dudes are a lot more flexible than ladies are at the same income level. That's pretty much the gist of the point I was making. And so that is a major difference between men and women. That's it.
Oh yeah, no, no, that's an absolutely huge point, and that's not to be devalued. What I am curious about, I know you guys briefly touched on this, where it's like, oh, where do you look
You know
for an
what? You know what's
apartment?
funny to me? I'm gonna just tell you what's funny to me.
What?
I personally, I personally do not care this deeply about like high value men and low value women. It's just like, yo, find somebody you want to fucking be with and stay with them. Okay, that's
Okay,
my.
okay,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
yes,
Okay, I genuinely, like, to me, I feel like there's like a huge obsession with this conversation, and not necessarily for me, but I just see it everywhere.
yeah.
And it's just funny to me that like there's people on the market who are not that like upset. Habibi, you're off the market. You got yourself a good husband, boyfriend, or whatever, and you out of
Well,
the game. All right, and
well, no,
he's
no,
not necessarily a high value being. But like, people are still fascinated by this conversation. Like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, I watch a lot of your videos and I'm fascinated by the same things.
I mean,
You know what?
I promise you, I find this obsession and this fascination so weird. Maybe I missed it. Okay, I think I've brought up maybe there's been like 3 videos where we really discuss this whole cringy ass high value stuff, right?
Ooh,
And
way more than that. No way.
no, I really don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So I'll concede I could be wrong. Okay, I feel like every time I use the term, I start to roll my eyes because I find it weird. I personally do not care about how high value men live and all this stuff. My thing is not about that. Generally, I don't come from that position. If I talk about anything